In the context of abortion, abortion has been in the national dialogue for a while now. Disney pulling all of its production out of Georgia because of the bill, Alabama and Missouri, and these different states that are passing or threatening to pass different forms of legislation to restrict or otherwise ban abortion in their states. Um, it's something that I see a lot happening. Is first off, the discourse is incredibly toxic. No benefit of the doubt anywhere, constant accusation, virtue signaling. It's just disastrous if you want to try to have a reasonable conversation with somebody about um, any of it. Maybe even try to get to a point of concession or compromise about it. It's almost not even possible. But um, really, what I'm kind of trying to get at is there's this one strain of argument that really frustrates me, and it's the argument from rape, where it tends to be hypothetical more often than any other instance, where a person will pose, if I had been raped at fill in the blank age younger, then I would have been forced to carry the child at that age. The only trouble is, in this hypothetical account, that didn't happen to you. It didn't, because we're in the future and you're looking backwards at a hypothetical, almost alternative reality self that didn't occur. So it's a broken argument. And it mostly comes from the fact that even if that had occurred, less than 1/2 of 1% of abortions in the year 2017 were credited to a consequence of rape. Less than 1/2 of a percent. So, like, whereas more than a quarter of them was simply financial reasons, and then almost another quarter of them was credited to just not being ready to have a child. Uh, Academics, all those kind of interferences, those make up the bulk of those data points that you typically hear. Less than 1/2 of a percent were the ones that were actually like, I was raped and I don't want to carry the child. And from that point is where a person will then go, well, you don't know how many actually were because people are embarrassed or ashamed. But that continues into this hypothetical, imaginary statistic of, if, like, let's double it, you still only have 1%. Let's quadruple it, you still only have 2%. So if you want to try to, like, it's just not a strong basis. What it amounts to is a person's trying to virtue signal, trying to pull an emotional appeal to make you sympathetic, to make you feel guilty about your opinion without actually presenting reasonable stats and statistics and reasonable arguments. They just want you to feel bad about having your opinion. They don't actually want to change what your opinion is. And that's wrong. Maybe, I mean, it's just unproductive at the very least. So, it's something that I wish we could have an honest conversation about these things. I wish we could have a reasonable, maybe even statistics-based, discussion about what abortion is and what it comes from and the rationale that comes into it and things like. I wish that we could have a conversation like that, because I think that it would be far more productive, that people would be able to have their voices heard without a lot of emotional provocations about it. But the simple fact is, people don't want to have a reasonable conversation about it, because then they have to rationalize the fact that they want to murder children. And as soon as they begin to try to explain why they want to murder children, the people that do that are brushed to the side as psychopaths or as insane or extremists. So that makes them realize how absurd what they're really trying to say is, maybe. So, I don't know. I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry about this video being monetized anyways. So, whatever.